Alright, good morning everyone. Trying out the new BMW X5M. First off, this is the new control panel. We're turning it on and it's in full electric mode in the beginning. I never thought I'd be driving one of these, but it is being lent to me because I had to bring the Purosangue in for some work. Seatbelt just tightened on me and I have mixed feelings about driving hybrids and driving EVs, but maybe this will change my mind. Suspension feels compliant. One of the biggest issues I have with driving EVs and hybrids are the extra weight. Now, when the car has battery packs, you can feel it because they have to stiffen the suspension so that it doesn't bottom out the shocks. Because of all the extra weight of the hybrid battery systems, you do feel it. And normally when the roads are fine and the bumps are very small, it's okay. But when the road gets jarring and then you have those interbridge connections where it really has a big disparity, then those you really feel because the suspensions on these newer cars are so much more beefier because of all the extra mass that we have to carry. Right now in full EV mode, I have 83 kilometers on the dial. The air conditioner seems really cold. It's really quiet. I think it's perfect for getting in and out of the city where you don't really need the gas combustion engine. But today we're going to be using this car and doing a lot of errands. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the driver's seat and seeing if this car is really good. One of my friends messaged me that this car is ridiculously fast, and I don't think I doubt that, because right now, even if the engine only has 430 horsepower or so, it is a hybrid system, so there is extra power being generated by the electric motor. I don't know any facts about this car. I just learned it from the guy who dropped it off, but I'm going to be quickly adapting myself to using most of the functionalities of this car. Let's go for a ride. It's so eerily quiet. I can't. Anyway, I had to turn off the headlights. It was still on, but I wanted to see if the EV actually had a noise. Like, was it generating any sounds from running it in EV mode? So this cluster is gorgeous, it's easy to read, and it's very bright. And here is the EV mode. 82 kilometers, full battery. We're in individual electric, which means just power. And then with the petrol, we can get about 491 kilometers. And so far, I just hear all the road noises outside. I like the little touches of the M colors right here on the top there. And it continues to this curved display where I'm using it for climate control, but this is also your infotainment system. And then they have the X5 badging and the LED lights over there. I do have my coffee cup right there, so that fits well. And they have this like faux carbon looking material there. It is rush hour traffic. Today is probably not the ideal day to test the power of this car, but it is the ideal day to test the practicality of this car, of owning it every day. I already missed the vibrations of the V12 of the Purosangue, but I am lucky that the BMW Philippines decided to lend me this car as a loaner temporarily while my car gets checked. So while I'm in traffic, we can fiddle around with the system. So home button right there, and it gives us the maps, and then Apple CarPlay, most definitely, listening to my podcast. My Waze is in Spanish, that's why it says Busqueda. So let's see, my meditation music. Screen is fabulous. This looks like 18 by 9. Like, this stretch is amazing. One of my biggest gripes with the Ferrari. I should stop comparing this car to the Purosangue. It's totally different price points. I should compare it more with the Defender probably, but even the Defender is a supercharged V8 monster. So I don't know if it's a good comparison. The Defender is a much older car. This is a 2025 X5. The electric motors have some pull, and there is a sound. There is a futuristic, I can't describe it. There is a futuristic sound that happens when you punch the throttle. You could feel the regeneration when I come off the gas. It feels like it's braking it ever so slightly. Yes, there's a regen system. Now we can definitely turn it on the computer so that you can see what I'm up to. So here you see on the right how much power I'm using, and this 50% power. and then the engine turns on as soon as we punch it. So we are now in hybrid mode. Now for those of you hybrid users, I saw a video online about the issues of having a hybrid because you technically sometimes are running on electric power mode, and then all of a sudden you punch the throttle and then the engine turns on and it's not even warmed up. The oil has not circulated, the oil has not gotten viscous enough to circulate through the motor, and that's going to be bad for these hybrid motors. There's a study showing how the oil contaminants for a hybrid motor is much higher because of the idea of not being able to warm up and then also not being able to keep the optimum temperatures. So in the morning, technically, if you start your car just to move it and then turn it off, it's bad for the engine and bad for the oil of the car. Because what happens is the oil doesn't get warm enough, and oil is hygroscopic, which means it also absorbs water eventually through time. So what happens is you basically contaminate your oil without warming it up properly, and I guess burning off the excess moisture. I'm not quite sure on the science of that, but you guys can research and Google that on your own. There is a mode here to go into sport, which probably means the engine is always alive, and you can see from the cluster everything has turned red. It's now angry. The X5 is now alive and it's furious. I could see how the mood has changed, and it's now fully motor driven with electric assistance. Now it sounds good. I can really hear the inline six now, and it has a nice purr. I actually don't know if the architecture of this motor is similar to the F80 M4, which is like the supposedly 2JZ version of the BMW motor. Alright, let's fold the seats down. This looks like the EV charging kit. Just gonna move that to the side. Huge boot in the back. Auto closed doors. I just noticed this looks like a wood finish with like the raw walnut look. Thanks, Nars. The boot space in the X5 is humongous. We haven't even folded the other seats down, and we can store a lot of items. These are orders for clients. So we're gonna go now to pick up some more stuff before we get on with our delivery. Nice thing is the Apple CarPlay is very easy to use. It's very quick. So look at how fast. No delays. So as soon as you click the start button, it just goes directly into hybrid mode. And I think after the 50% power mark over here on this side, it basically goes into engine mode. So I guess that's also what the blue means here. We can run electric EV mode all the way up to 120, and then after that it will become a petrol version, or I guess hybrid assistance. Part of the test also later is to run down the battery and then see how long it takes to get it up to recharging spec. I had to grab some more stuff, and we're now on our way to do some deliveries. The range finder, or the range of the battery, says 65 kilometers, and it's just eerily quiet on the Skyway. Can't hear anything. I do hear the motor cars passing me by, and there's some weird like benefits to having such silence when you're driving on the road. You can think clearly and you're sort of zen out. So I don't know if like it's good for people who have attention deficit disorder. They might lose focus because it's so quiet and zone out too much. But I do miss having a motor. But this is a good break from experiencing a full petrol car or an ICE engine, and now driving a hybrid car. Eventually, when I do jump onto the hybrid train, it's still going to be a sports car like a Ferrari. And I don't think it's going to be a passenger vehicle like this. When the engine kicks in, you can feel it. You can hear it, it hums, but when it kicks out, you don't know when it's actually out. It's a good transition. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes. So we're gonna turn it on. It makes an interesting sound. Next stop is the Motul flagship store, so we can drop off the work wheel that needs to be exchanged for the other work wheel, and then we're gonna do one more drop off and then head back to the car shop. One thing interesting about this car is how the parking sensors sound. It sounds like it's a drum synth and it's gonna bust out a song. it's so melodious. The sound sounds like it's going to be the song from Avicii. We have the whole beat before us. Can't believe we were just here yesterday. Seems to be a frequent stop for us now, especially because we love Motul Philippines. Welcome back to Motul Philippines. Salamat. Quick pit stop, dropping off the wheel. Second skin looks bustin'. There's Cayman in front. Oh, it's a GT4, sorry. It's in the GT4 Cayman. The whole morning that I've been driving, the engine has come on only a few times. When I want to overtake, it comes in, and then on the Skyway, it came in. And I'm not sure whether it's charging. I don't know how to see if it's charging, but it is telling me to plug it. The range says 42 kilometers now, and I do see the temperature gauge on, so maybe that means the motor is running to charge. Okay, so I do think the engine was running because I put it in electric mode and it turned off this guy over here. So I'm gonna turn back to hybrid, and there, that's probably the electric mode charging the battery. The engine doesn't feel on. I'm gonna press the sport mode just to find out. Oh no, there, the engine turns on. Maybe it's just warming up the oil. I need to ask and see if that's what's happening. So right now the oil gauge or the water coolant temperature gauge is moving. Oh my god. It's way more peppy with the engine on, obviously. I found the song from Avicii. I'm going to play the first 3 seconds. Hopefully we don't get flagged. There, din, 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 din. Now, when I parked the car, it said it had like 40 kilometers range, and then I got back in the car and now it says 27. So quite curious what happened. Was the car running hot and then all of a sudden the range disappeared? That was almost 12 kilometers of lost range. Being that I have nowhere to plug this in, I'm gonna press sport mode now and start the car, and you're gonna see how angry it's gonna get. Oh yeah, warming up the petrol motor. I just noticed even the X5 has turned angry. It was blue a while ago and now it is red. I think even this line, not quite sure, but with the sport mode on, you have the Newton meters, the horsepower, the PSI. So one of these days I'm gonna have to make it to the mall and see how to plug this in. I've never done it before in my life, and I wonder if it's easier than said and done. Part of the kit in the back is they included the slow charger. One of the initial impressions with the gearbox, it is a little laggy. It's not a DCT, it is a slush box, a ZF box. It's a very comfortable box. It shifts really smoothly, but it is not fast. This thing's got mounts of torque. Alright, you're gonna hear the parking sensors. It sounds like it's gonna rave on us. I feel like it's gonna spin some music for us. Wow, so it actually broke the car and let us park safely. I was so focused on capturing the sound, I wasn't looking at the back, and good thing the car has the auto brake feature. It stopped the car before it hit the wall. That would have been a disaster. Alright, continuing the vlog here on the BMW X5, and the car looks decent. I actually like the styling of this car. The boxiness of it works out. The front isn't so boxy. The rear roundness looks okay. So I haven't even seen the badge. It is the XDrive 50E. The color is like a almost navy chalk gray blue. Rear looks good. I didn't notice that radar is so massive right there. So right now my battery says it's only got 19 kilometers left. So we're gonna pass by BMW now to charge the car and see how long does it take to get us up to 80% power. So it's a 17 right now, and I don't think it charges when we're running the car. I wanted to charge my car a while ago, but the lot was full on the recharging station, so couldn't get a plug-in. One of the biggest things I dislike is the auto braking. Every time a motorbike cuts you off, it feels like you're gonna get shot through the windshield. The brakes apply the most massive brake pressure, and it's so bad that the car behind me almost hit me. Just because the car thinks that we're going to hit into a motorbike, and in the Philippines, when the motorbikes overtake you on the left and right side, it just sets off the system so badly. So that one, have to turn it off. I don't know if I can turn it off from the steering wheel, unlike the other cars where you can go through the steering wheel, turn it off immediately. I think this one you have to go through the menu system. Let's verify that. Side collision, okay, I have turned everything off. The emergency stop is still on though, so I might switch that off. That's it.
Pero kaso, ganitong oras, ano pa, low charging tayo.
Walang high charging?
Mayroon pang may gabi pa.
Ah, interesting. So no fast charging till evening. In B1 we can go down. Is it bad if the battery goes to 0?
Tracking can recuperate.
How does it recuperate? Will it charge while I'm on hybrid mode or sport mode?
Even if you're using sport mode, it charges.
Parang it's not going up eh.
It's like going up beyond 10 kilometers.
No, it's at 15.
15.
It has to wait till to get to 10.
Yeah, it takes time to charge it using the petrol. So that's a hybrid capability.
Check out this place. Full-on lounge, a coffee shop. I've never been in this store. If we did end up leaving it here, they have a slow charger also, and they only have a fast charger if we leave it late at night. So we're not going to leave it here. We're just going to check out the M cars upstairs, and then we're going to go over to the other side to check on my other car. Interesting door handle. It's an electric popping handle. But that's funny, like aerodynamically, I don't know how that makes sense. So that rear end looks good. Nice lounge. So this is the new X7. It's the bigger version of the X5. Same design language with these headlights, the split headlight look. Okay, I've never heard of this car. What is the XM? This is nuts. Look at the exhaust on this thing. Like the M1, it has the logos on the glass. I guess this is their special edition X car, M car for the 4x4. And it's still got a hybrid. Yep, it's a plug-in hybrid. Wow, the grille lights up now. It's a limited edition car. Damn. I've never heard of this. I like the new cars. I like the M3. The M3 wagon looks so good. I love it. That looks good in the matte white. Oh, with the gold wheels. I love the wheel design too. Oh my god. Okay, price. How much is this one?
This is priced at 16,890,000.
That price is so crazy. 16M. It's got full-on buckets. 16M, you could get a very mid 458 or a very high mileage 488, or you could get high mileage 992 Turbo S, or you could get a low mileage 991.2 Turbo S. So it just depends. 16 million for CS. That's crazy. I think back then the earlier model CSs were only trading for 12 something. But let's look at it. Got the carbon inserts. This one needs a battery charger. Alcantara steering wheel. Whew. BMW used to make such good manual cars. Crazy prices. So the wagon is the cheapest here. It's about 10 and a half probably. And the wagon looks good. It's the most practical one with the chalk gray. Same color as what we're using now with the X5. Steel brakes. It's like carbon ceramics also. I like the interior. That's hot. Yeah, that's so practical. I wanted to give my final thoughts on the BMW X5. First, thank you to BMW Philippines for lending me the car because I had to have the Purosangue dropped in. Now, driving the car for a few days, I really wanted to find a charging station to plug it and see how fast it was going to take to charge the car again. Now, on the last few days, I had to do some long drives with the car, and the car was charging on the highway. It is a little slow when you're driving and expecting it to charge at the same time, but it was charging. I thought it wouldn't charge, but that doesn't make sense. What doesn't make sense also is dropping by the dealership and not having a fast charger available. The dealership is so beautiful, yet they have no fast chargers for these hybrids that they're selling. Now, I think over the 7 Series and then the XM and then the X7, the X5 looks like it is the best proportions. Ride-wise, I think it was superb. The gearbox was, again, a little slow, but very smooth and then very engaging, easy to work. The infotainment system, the driving visibility is great. The radio, touchscreen display, easy to navigate as well. Overall, I would say the car is very vanilla. It checks all the boxes in terms of the things you need from a sport SUV, but there is nothing about it that is an M for me. I think the M for the BMW line has been overplayed and overused, and they have M cars but they're not M. Now, visiting the showroom, we saw the XM. I don't know anything about that car. It looks a little ridiculous. I think the red highlights on the windows look a little, maybe a little too much for my taste. One of my favorite cars in the showroom was the BMW Touring, but at 16 million, that is a whole lot of car to buy for 16 million, or maybe reverse. You're not getting a whole lot of car for 16 million. Let me know your thoughts on the BMW X5 if you guys have any questions about this car. But again, thank you so much to BMW Philippines for lending me a car.